is Lynda Gaiao and welcome to this week's episode. Today and over the next couple of days we are going to be moving into trait 2, the driver. Now when we look at the human design system, we are specifically talking about the individual, and we can also look at partnership, which is when we have two people together. And then as we build on that, when we get to 3 people or more, we start looking at a small group. And then when we get to 10 people and above, we're looking at large groups. And this particular trait, the second trait, the driver, has almost different applications depending on which one of these we're looking at. So when we're on the individual level, so when it's a trait that's in your design or it's moving through the transits like it is now and you're experiencing the energy, it is the driver. It's about the direction, the individual direction. And then as we're moving up to a small group, this is where we get vision. And then when we move into the larger group, we get planning. So direction, vision, and planning are the 3 things that we're going to be looking at here. So on an individual level, this is really understanding what direction to go into, being self-empowered or empowered to follow your own direction, to be an example of what it is to follow that direction, and in so doing, you empower others to follow their direction as well. In the human design system, we don't really have control necessarily of our direction. It's more of an aligning to the direction that we are, which is most optimal for us, which is most aligned for us, which is most healthy for us. But as we start turning towards looking at teams and the business concept, where it comes into play here is about this bigger picture, this vision for the team, about where the team can move forward. Now, the 2 on its own does not really have access to resources, and resources can be energy, they can be money, they can be time, they can be all sorts of things like this. So ultimately, the 2 gets to see what the big picture is, it gets to see what the vision is, but it doesn't necessarily have access to putting its foot on the pedal and moving things in that direction. But it is really good at understanding what resources are needed, how to direct those resources, and where to send people in order to get the resources. So if you have this 2 in your design, or even if the 2 is moving through at the moment and you don't usually have it in your design, just understand that it's about getting the bigger picture, but not necessarily taking any actions towards moving in a specific direction. When we move into the larger groups, this is where we step into the planning phase. And how this works is, in order for any vision to be implemented within a larger organization, there are a lot of key elements that need to be in place before that can happen. We need to really align a lot of different things for the resources to be released. So we could have a great vision, we could have a great idea, a great big picture for the future, but unless that is taken up by the people that hold the purse strings, that vision is never going to see the light of day. It's never going to be implemented. So there's this whole concept of really ensuring that all the key pieces are in place, and then presenting that vision with all the key pieces that come with that vision to the powers that be, and say, well, these are the ideas that I have, and this is the direction that I think we should move in. This is why, this is what I feel will be needed in order to do that. And if all of those pieces are in place, then the purse strings are open and you're given the money or the resources necessary to actually implement that vision and put it into place. When we are looking at circuitry within human design, this particular trait is all about, it's an individual trait, which means that in order for it to happen, it happens in a pulse. So the energy may feel like it's not there, and it's not there, and it's not there, and then suddenly it is there. It's about empowerment, so bringing your unique way forward into the world. So people with the second trait have the potential to really, have a great direction for themselves, have this bigger picture or this bigger vision for everyone else, plus enable people to have access to or understand where to get the resources to move things forward into the future. So this week, what I'd encourage you to pay attention to is what directions do you see people, teams, organizations, the world around you moving in, and how aligned do those feel? This week would be a great time for you as a team to look at your big picture and see whether it is still in alignment with, where you are and where you're wanting to go. This is a great time to investigate the resources or the finances necessary to implement a vision, and being able to kind of collate all the pieces that you need to present it in that way. I'd also pay attention to any kind of pressure that you might be feeling this week to suddenly change direction, or to step into a new direction, or to try to implement a new vision into your life, or into your team and into your business. Because especially if we don't have a trait, when it suddenly comes in, there can be this pressure to take action. And as I mentioned earlier on in this video, the pressure to take action, unless it's fully aligned and correct for you, is always going to lead to some kind of unhealthy or incorrect outcome for you. So like all things in the human design and BG5 system, one needs to ensure that you are following your decision-making strategy in order to ensure that everything is correct for you. And so this week, by all means, do some mind mapping, some strategy sessions where you look at the bigger picture, but don't take action until it is aligned. If you've got any stories to share about how this particular trait shows up for you, or how it comes in this week if you don't usually have it, please share in the comments below. And each week when the transits change, I release a new video. So if you want to make sure that you are notified when the transits do come into play, then please hit the subscribe button and you will get notified of when the next video comes out. Thanks for listening, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.